So apparently we have to give up a 6th round pick for Justin Fields, and the story is Justin Fields played better. He was a 4-2 record. Russ was 6-5. And a lot of Steeler fans are saying we need to go back to Justin Fields over Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson, these past 4 games we lost in a row, he's been Mr. Unlimited has been very limited. And I'm not going to lie, I said from the jump I wanted Russell Wilson to be the starter. I'm not going to lie. That's who I wanted to be the starter. I feel he was a veteran. I feel he doesn't turn the ball over. I feel he's a better passer than Justin Fields, and we have 2 solid running backs that, yeah, he brings intangibles with his legs, but we have 2 great running backs to where we need to be able to pass the ball too. And to me, Justin Fields is just not as good of a passer as Russell Wilson, in my opinion. And after losing 4 games in a row with Russell Wilson, and now you're going to go into the playoffs. Let's just pretend Mike Tomlin does this and goes in the playoffs and makes this switch for Justin Fields, and he happens to lose. You got to make a switch at the head coaching position. If he makes the switch and they win, he's a genius. If he makes the switch and loses, you got to get rid of him. And to me, you lived and died on the Russell Wilson hill for the past 11 weeks, bro. Or however many, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, however many weeks it is. We've been living and dying on this Russell Wilson hill. So to make this switch now after you lost 4 games in a row, basically let the Ravens take the division right out from under you after you have a 2-game lead, and then basically just want to make this switch to avoid accountability on your bad coaching and your bad decision making, especially the bad decision making in that game. Going for it on 4th and 1 in the second half was at the end of the first half was terrible yesterday. There's no excuses for going for it. Yes, you should be able to pick up a yard on 4th and 1. Yes, you should be able to pick up a 4th and 1. Maybe they should have put Justin Fields in there on a 4th and 1. But there was 49 seconds left in the first half, and we were on our own 30-yard line. And if you picked up that first down on a quick quarterback push sneak up the middle, then there would have been 40 seconds left. You would have lost your last time out. And then what? You have like what? Possibly 2, maybe 3 passes to possibly get into field goal range when you're only down, what was it, 3 points, whatever we were down I forget the exact score. Whatever we were down there, and the game was a 3-point swing. Tomlin he handed Cincinnati 3 points in that game. You could talk about all the drop passes. You could talk about everything else, but that decision there alone is 3 points you just handed over to the Cincinnati Bengals, and you deferred and you get the ball back at half. So, and then he justifies that call, which it makes no sense, man. You play not to lose. You play not to lose. We're a team. This team is, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have the highest paid defense in the entire NFL. Okay? You got to rely on your defense, okay? You got to rely on your special teams. You got to pin them deep back, and you got to hope that, you can keep Cincinnati out of the end zone with only then you punt it in that situation. There'd been like 35 seconds left. You got to believe that you're the highest paid defense can keep Cincinnati out of the end zone, and you can keep them from getting a field goal with only 35 seconds left to go in the half. That decision was terrible. And to make this switch after you lived and died on the Russ Hill for 10, 11 weeks, whatever it is, 6-5, whatever Russell Wilson's record is, I don't know, 6-4, whatever his record is, bro. You can't make the switch at this point in this season. You should have made it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, if you were going to make this decision. We lived and died on the Russ Hill, and we got to live and die on the Russell Wilson Hill in the playoffs, in my opinion. And you can't sit out there. You can't play conservative. You can't come out of these box sets on offense and expect to run it right down the Ravens' throat, because you're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to spread it out against the Ravens, and we're going to have to pass to beat the Ravens, and we're going to have to be able to put up points with the Ravens. And to me, Justin Fields is just not as good as a passer as Russell Wilson. Even though Russell Wilson has been playing bad, the Ravens have a pretty bad, well, they've actually been turning around in the secondary as of late. Early in the season, they had one of the worst passing defenses in the league. But as of late, they really started to turn it around too. But all season long, in terms of stopping the run, the Ravens have been completely dominant in terms of stopping the run. And these two tight end sets every single time are not going to work against the Baltimore Ravens. You can't play scared against the Baltimore Ravens. You're going to have to open it up, and you're going to have to spread it around. Look what happened in the late fourth quarter. We stopped playing super ultra conservative on offense, and Russ started cooking a little bit. He started to get momentum a little bit, and he started to get it going. And a lot of those passes were dropped that killed momentum on offense. That put us in third and longs, second and longs, that would have been first downs, and it would have put the life in the crowd and would have kept the momentum going if you just catch easy balls thrown right in your fingers, and George Pickens dropped these balls. And rumor has it he's out here threatening to fight fans and stuff. So this team is collapsing, and if Mike Tomlin makes this switch, and if they go up there down there to Baltimore and go one and done, and you make this quarterback switch after you've been living and dying on this Russell Hill for how many weeks now? It's time to make a switch at the coaching position too.